But we always stay committed to talking to you about your portfolios, about what you need to know. It's a crazy time. The markets are volatile. Every day, states' numbers are switching up and down. The market's up 300. It's down 180. It's all over the place, okay? Bitcoin is still holding steady at 11,600, so there's some good things happening there. But every week, my buddy Joe Hagan joins me. He's the CEO of Wealth Colony. And going back to October, Joe's been talking to us about the big data economy, lots of different products, but one stock in particular we've been zoned in on is Datadog. The symbol is DDOG. And you gotta take a look at this stock because after a huge run, Joe, it looks like it's pulled back and it might be a buying opportunity right here.
Yeah, I think so. There was a little bit of insider selling last week at around 92 and change. I mentioned to you last week it hit 95, looked for a pullback. Then I realized afterwards the insiders had sold some, not esoteric, but nothing really detrimental as far as a sale. I think these guys deserve some liquidity. I mean, they said no to Cisco for an $8 billion buyout and went public. Why not take a little cash off the table when it hits a $30 billion valuation? They still sign the government and Amazon Web Services. Zoom, a few of the big multiples that ran recently, I think are taking a little bit of a breather. And I just think this pullback to 75 is a great opportunity to step back in. It's the pullback we've been looking for.
Well, maybe this is a good time for people who thought they may have missed it to take another look at it. It doesn't look like with the pandemic continuing and all this craziness, it looks like more and more people are spending a lot more money. I talked to my buddy Chris Carter yesterday. He's the CEO of Aproyo. They are a cloud-based and computer systems security firm. And he was telling me that they have some partnership with Ernst & Young, and they're seeing some of the biggest uptick right now in people that are bulking up their cloud base. They want more security around their systems, and it looks like Datadog is like positioned right in the middle of that.
Yeah, I think they're one of the leaders in the space. Like I said, the two most recent accounts are Amazon Web Services and the government. Not really going to get bigger than that. So that's social proof for you right there, as far as the diligence behind who their customers are. And you and I have talked before. I'm obviously biased. We're both shareholders, but I love the little InvestView. They have a subsidiary that's playing in the world of data. They're looking at, I think, a huge, enormous growth trajectory. And one of the things we've been doing to take advantage of it is, owning a preferred that is going to pay you more in interest in a quarter than you would have in the bank for more than a year. You get 13% for the year. In the terms of the deal, you get an additional equity. You get an equity kicker that can certainly sweeten your return from 13% greater without taking all that risk, because the equity is thrown in on the deal.
So, all right, but Joe, wait. For those, I don't want. Sometimes people, it's all lingo. We've been on Wall Street for 30 years, but I just want to break this down a little simpler. InvestView, which is a company you and I are both shareholders in. They've had this great program going, the Apex program, where me and you coordinated to sell lots of people some great crypto mining products, and it was a self-directed IRA eligible product. Now InvestView's come out with a new class of stock, the InvestView Preferred. You buy the preferred, and it gives you a 13% annualized dividend. Okay, so you're getting 13% on your money. It's liquid to the tune of you can have your money back within 3 days because you can sell the stock. But if you bought the stock at 25 and you held it for 3 months, you'd actually make 1/4 of 13%. So about 3.25% on your money, and the interest rates in the bank right now are at 0. So you can make in a quarter more than you can make in the banks in 2 years.
Yeah, 100%. I'm full transparent. Again, my self-directed IRA owns Apex units. I used a bunch of the cash from the lease payments sitting in it to buy the preferred. Why not get 13% and get some extra additional equity that for every share of preferred that you buy, they give you 5 warrants to be able to buy stock for 5 years, at 10 cents a share. So if their efforts in the world of big data that we were talking about are monetized, and executed in the right way, you'll see additional upside on top of the 13%. Which is certainly worth it for a lot of the people that understand it.
So Joey, this preferred, I know you guys at Wealth Colony are doing a heck of a job. You're running an awareness campaign. You're educating people. You're directing them where they can find more information. If someone is watching the show and they want to know how they can get, what we call a non-correlated investment, it's not going to go flying up and down with the market. It's going to be pretty stable and just get some passive income of 13%. It's eligible for your IRA. How do people get a hold of you? How do they get more information?
Email me at joe@wealthcolony.com. We'll send you some information. Book an appointment at calendly.com/wealthcolony. We'll be happy to myself discuss it with you. One of our relationship managers can do the same thing and really walk you through the process. It's pretty easy to understand. And like you said, we direct people. We show them how to do it themselves and self-direct themselves.
So now you've got a local celebrity, a national celebrity who just joined the team. Former NFL player Brad Benson is on the Wealth Colony train. He's got a Juris Doctorate. He had a tremendous NFL career. He was a super successful car salesman. He had these big car dealerships here in New York. What did Brad Benson see in the Wealth Colony experience that brought him to your team?
Interesting. Just something that really filled the void, in his life. I mean, as he'll tell you, he's a card-carrying baby boomer. He just turned 65. And here's a guy he's the guy that carried Bill Parcells off the field with the Giants' first Super Bowl, had him on his shoulders, right? He then goes on and develops the largest dealership of his kind in the auto business. And, like a lot of people, somewhere down the line, life, hits you when you're not expecting it.
Hey Joe, you know what? We got a little clip here of Brad Benson. For those of you who don't remember him, here's Brad Benson, formerly of the Super Bowl champion New York Giants, now part of Wealth Colony.
I worry about protecting my quarterback or selling cars anymore. Like most Americans, I worry about outliving my retirement money. It's actually the number one fear in my generation. And believe me, this coronavirus has served to intensify this fear. That's why I joined Wealth Colony, to share this dynamic program that eases my fear, alleviates the overexposure to the market, and helps my money work smarter for me and last longer.
All right, this guy's a champion, and he realized a little while ago that there's a big retirement gap out there. Most people, and you talked about this many times, Joe, you help a lot of people with this. You think you've been saving up your whole life, and most people don't realize when they retire at 65, they got about 21 months worth of savings, and 80% of them are gonna live another 15 years. So you got Brad, who just joined the team, helping you spread that message.
Yes, he is. He's like, if you go to NFL films, two of the greatest coaches of all time, Bill Parcells said, I never worry about Benson. He gets the job done. And Bill Belichick said, if he's ever coached any player that got the most out of their potential, it's Brad Benson. And he goes, and I bought a car from him.
Pretty good.
So,
all right. Joey, thank you so much for joining us every week. I really appreciate it. You're the man. Tell the team to keep up the good work. And if you're out there, reach out to Joe. He's got a lot of advice he can give you. And he's not a financial advisor, but he's one of the most learned guys around when it comes to building a diversified portfolio and your self-directed IRA. Joe Hagan, CEO of Wealth Colony. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, John.